Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So we're going to do a velocity banking review for really, really rich people. And I was inspired to do this just because I actually met a lady about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I was doing a velocity banking presentation for her, and she told me she was a an attorney from New York, right? She's a real estate attorney with a practice in New York, and she's really rich because she was like, oh, I just bought a new Miami $1 million condo or something like that, right? And because she was like the only one in the Zoom room, she was like, "Yeah, can you like go over my numbers?" And she literally just had one debt, which is the mortgage. And I was like, "How much money do you make?" "Oh, 50 grand a month." 50 grand a month. And she said it so casually. I love it, like 50 grand a month. And then when I heard that, I was just thinking about a Friday. I was just thinking about this. But yeah, so basically, this video was inspired by my encounter with that attorney, and so I kind of fake simulated her numbers, but basically 50 grand a month, maybe $30,000 of expenses, and she told me that she didn't have any debt, so this isn't except for the mortgage, so this isn't like her scenario at all. But the more debts you have, that's the whole purpose of velocity banking. So 9 credit cards, an auto loan, and I wasn't sure if I should turn this into like a BMW, Mercedes, or maybe a new truck. Because to me, like new trucks are like the luxury vehicles because they're so expensive. And then I think she told me she had like a 700 or $800,000 mortgage. I can't remember what it was. And then she told me she spent 15 grand a month in like general expenses. So I'm wondering if those are just like business expenses in general, or I can't even get myself to spend fifteen grand a month even if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But let's just assume she has maybe like 9 credit cards and an auto loan and a mortgage, and let's see what we can do. And might be asking like, what are you talking about? What's velocity banking? And so just to start from the beginning, velocity banking is a debt strategy or cash flow and debt manage or debt ma- yeah cash flow debt management strategy using lines of credit as your main tool. Okay, so let's first thing we need to do is have a budget, and what's really important is that when we do our budget is that we list every single debt that we have, because every single debt is a hole into our cash flow bucket, right? So every debt we pay off creates more cash flow. We have to be a little bit strategic about it, but 99% of the time I'm going to say to pay off your credit cards first, right? 99%. Maybe there might be an exception, but just, speaking in a vacuum. And the beauty of it is that we don't have to make more money. Although if we're making 50 grand a month, do I really need more money? You know what I mean? And $30,000 expenses, 19,000 left over, and good for you, lady attorney, real estate attorney who makes 50 grand a month. Oh my goodness. That's chunk change to what I make, you know what I'm saying? All right, so now let's go ahead and do step number two, which is select a line of credit as our main operating account. Now let's just assume that, she told me that she put a sizable down payment, and if you know what that anything about banks, they lend you about 80% of your equity or 80 to 90% of the equity they have in form of a home equity line of credit. Now let's just assume that for the sake of this example, we have access to a $300,000 home equity line of credit, and I think that would seem reasonable for someone who makes this kind of income, and we'll just assume that they have that much equity. There's no reason why wouldn't be able to qualify, or maybe there's something that I don't know, right? Like I've never dealt with that kind of numbers yet. But here's the thing: with our savings account, what do we want it to always to go to? Usually, zero, right? And then what we're gonna do is calculate, because what we're gonna do is put our entire paycheck into the line of credit, and then take our expenses out. That's the actual velocity banking strategy. And then the balance of our debt is going to go down by our cash flow. So let's just take a look at this, right? And so right now, what we're going to do is try to increase this number. And like I said before, the easiest way to increase this number is just basically throw all of your credit card debt as much as possible into that line of credit. Now I'm kind of cheating here because I magically picked $300,000 as that number for that home equity line of credit limit, and let's just dump that $293,000 of a home equity line of credit So let's just go right here, 293,000. So a lot of credit card debt. That's like the equivalent of a single family house, you know what I'm saying? So, if we make this much money, then, of course we have the right to spend that much. Now, we again, so basically we have that home equity line of credit and we transferred that debt, and because we did a simple debt transfer, take a look at this, right? So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now we increased that cash flow number, and now that cash flow number just went up by $10,000, right? So we were rich, or we were really, really rich, and now we're really, really richer by $10,000, right? So what's the actual velocity banking strategy? You put this whole 50 grand into your line of credit, take your expenses out, and then see your balances go down about 30 grand. Now, I know for some of you, this is like mind-blowingly unrealistic, but you know what? One day, if you know how to do this, just like this lady, or make this much money and maybe be a New York real estate attorney, you can do it too. You can do it too. Why not? Right? All right. So let's go ahead and do our simple calculations for the next month. And then the next month's balance is the previous month's balance, which is the whole $293 of credit card debt, plus the previous month's interest, minus this cash flow, right? And here's the thing. So somebody put a comment about, like, why don't I put a variable? Because based on your home, your line of credit size and your cash flow is not always going to be 29 grand. So for like 5 entries, it could be like 29 grand, and then you pay off another debt, then it's going to turn into 30 grand, right? So that's why you don't want to put in a variable. What you want to do is always manually change that cash flow number once you've paid off an extra debt. And if that doesn't make sense, ignore everything I said. For now, just manually type in that cash flow number, 29215.32, right? And then we're going to calculate the average daily balance, right? So what we do is take the average of the two numbers, multiply it by the interest rate, 0.1, right? And then divide it by 12, okay? And so now the interest is about 2 grand, 2 grand, okay? And so what we're gonna do is just copy and paste until this goes to 0, and let's see how long it takes. Oh my goodness, it didn't even take like a year, like 11 months. Let me go ahead and highlight this. Oh man, I'm dead. So 11 months to pay off 293K. Ooh. All right, so let's pay off. So now what we got to do is we got this 55K. Now here's the thing. It honestly doesn't matter if I transfer this whole thing into a line of credit and dump it, or I use the chunking method. It's almost going to make no difference because our cash flow number is so extremely big, right? And we can dump our entire savings into it as well. But that's not velocity banking, right? Because we're one of the tenant or core tenets of velocity banking is preventing something called segregation of income, and we want to make sure that we maximize our cash flow and also be able to put it in one place. Okay, so now let's just move this right here. So 11 months. Let me go and actually make it a little bit accurate. So calculator.net, loan amortization, and we're going to figure out for that luxury car or possibly new truck, because I think new trucks are like the new luxury cars, what the loan balance is after 11 months. So it's going to be 55,000, 000. And I made that number up. But if I had a new $55,000 car, that would be pretty sweet. Driving an old 2003 Toyota Camry. All right, so now at 11 months, it's going to be 45 grand. Okay, so 45 grand. And why don't we just move this 45 grand into the line of credit? And what we're going to do is that we're going to move this here, this 45 grand into that line of credit, right? And then now what we do is we increase our cash flow. So this is going to be 0, right? And then what's our new cash flow now? It's 30, 20, 30, or 3203.6, right? So let's just go ahead and just do this. So 30203.6. And oh my goodness, did I screw up? I feel like I screwed up. Did I screw up? Cuz wow. So basically I transferred that car debt into the line of credit and then I paid it off in 1 month. That's crazy. All right, so now, gosh, like, all right, well, 12 months, and then, I don't know, this seems a little bit insane. Did I do something wrong? So minus 29 cash flow, plus that 45, then minus the 30. So it barely got paid off by $36 in 1 month. Oh my goodness, so mind blown. Gosh, I need to do velocity banking only for rich people. You know what I'm saying? It's like 50 grand or a month or more. That's the only time I'll talk to you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so now 12 months, and then so now it's 293 plus this 55. So let's just quickly calculate that. And so it's going to be 348K. 348K. And that's why like I don't get too fixed up. So this is why like this cash flow number is so much more important than the interest rate. Yes, the interest rate is important, but this cash flow number is so much more important than the interest rate, right? All right, so now let's go here. 800,000. So let's, we'll say assume it's that Miami condo, and then after 1 year, what is the balance of that Miami condo? We're going to take a look, and I'm just going to put this in the amortization schedule calculator, and we're going to put it in 30 years at 6%. Now, if this is your first time ever dealing with 30-year amortizations, if you have a 6% interest rate, you pay more than 100% on this in interest on this loan, right? So this is 926, right? $800,000 loan, 926, 1.7 million. Now, do you think a person who pays for a $1 million condo or whatever wants to pay 1.7 million in total? That's like almost double that condo, right? So this is why it's important, especially if we have that maximum cash flow like this lady has. Ooh, I'm sweating. So after 1 year, right, this is the balance, and we just pay that thing off, so we don't have to pay 100-something% interest. Okay, so now, okay, so now what we're gonna do is just, here's a cool thing. We have this thing called a velocity banking calculator, right, and provided by Renatus, and I'm what we call an independent contracted marketer from Renatus, meaning I sell their educational products and get a commission. I'm actually a student, and so I have access to this calculator. If you want to be a student, you can have access to this calculator too. And so where I originally learned velocity banking from. Now, let's go ahead and put this number in there. So what we're going to do is just put a $50,000 income, and how much is the expenses? It's everything except for what the loan we're paying off. So just 15,000, right? And what is our original balance? 800,000. And what is our current balance? See, so after 1 year, only 10 grand got chipped off, even though, so let's just do this. Oopsie. Let's just check how much interest we paid. So we paid almost about 10 grand, almost 10 grand in principal, but look at this, 47 grand in interest just on the first year, right? So that's like a 1 month of salary for that lady. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now let's go ahead and put in that interest rate and 30 years, and then just put in the payment amount. So the payment amount is 4,796. So we just gotta put that in there. And then chunk amount, we do 100,000, 50,000. Actually, let's just kind of test around. So we'll say this is a 10% line of credit. And if we do exactly 50,000, let's just compare the interest, right? So it's going to take us 2 years to pay off this. Oh, geez, $790,000, 2 years. Oh my goodness, 2 years, and we pay about $50,000 of interest, right? So if we had just paid that 30-year mortgage accordingly, we would have paid mostly interest, $800,000 of interest. Now let me just see what happens as we increase this number, right? So let's see if it makes a big difference. So let me go ahead and save this here. So whoopsie. So 52,497.59. So now let me go ahead and increase this number. If we transfer $100,000 to that line of credit, does it really make a big of a difference? 100,000. Oh, it doesn't even make that big of a difference by 2K, right? So that's what I mean. Like, yes, you want to transfer some of the principal to that line of credit, but honestly, it doesn't have a big amount. You could see that 50 and 100K don't even make that much of a difference. But the more you transfer from a low interest loan to a higher interest line of credit, you do pay a little bit more interest, although in the end, you save more from the 30-year amortization schedule. But my point is that whenever you're dealing with low interest rate loans with high balances that you're not going to pay off immediately, and it doesn't free up enough cash flow. Because think about this: would you pay off $800,000 just to get only $4,000 back? Not really, right? Like, you wouldn't do that. And because this gives you the lowest amount of cash flow compared to all the other things that we're paying off. And if you want to get into more detail, look up cash flow index. I'm not going to get too much into it, but what I'm saying is that using this strategy, it's going to take about 2 years. So let's just add 2 years to pay off. So this is going to be 12 months. So it's going to be 3 years. And oh my goodness. Now, what is that? 1 million? So 1 point. Let me add this. So it's 800 plus 293, which is 1.09 million. Or we'll just say 1.1 million. Round up. 1 debt paid off. Whoa. Oh, this is so great. I know one day I will. Here's the thing. I'm actually really proud of this lady, like 50 grand a month. And then she just kind of just tells me that, and it's like as if it's nothing. Right now, I'm like I show my what's it called? HELOC statement, right? I show my HELOC statement as if like, oh, it's not that much, or it's not any old thing, right? Actually, let me go in here to my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna go in here. And so if I go into here, lately, especially this month, I've been showing off my HELOC statement, and like, oh, I make $300 on YouTube, and then this lady's like, oh, 50 grand a month, 50 grand a month, right? And then let me go back here, scroll down, uh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? My HELOC. Where's my HELOC statement? Oh yeah. Oh, my HELOC. I'm putting 13 grand into it. I've been schooled. I've been shamed. 50 grand a month. Okay, well, this is velocity banking for really, really, really rich people. So if you're really, really, really rich, um, yeah, this might be a strategy for you. At least you don't have to pay, $800,000 of interest in a 30-year mortgage just because you're just making the monthly payment. Just use your line of credit as a tool to help you pay it off, and then once this is paid off, take a look at our cash flow number, which was originally 20 grand, which is really great. Now it's 35. Oh, all right. Well, this is Crane Atlanta Mentorship. So, all right. So I guess that's it for today. I gotta start getting more real estate deals, start working on that. But other than that, have a great day, everybody, and we'll speak next time.